Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. Over the past 72 hours, I can't record shows fast enough to keep up with Donald Trump. One episode, I'm telling you he's threatening tariffs. Another episode, I'm telling you he applied the tariffs. Now I'm going to tell you that he paused the tariffs. Then I'm going to tell you that the tariffs are put on only on China. And now they're being raised to 100 and something percent. Can somebody tell Donald Trump that this is not Celebrity Apprentice and he is not Oprah Winfrey? You get a tariff. You get a tariff. You get a tariff. You don't get a tariff. We're pausing your tariff. Everybody's getting a tariff. Yesterday, Michelle Obama came out and denied allegations that her and Barack Obama were getting a divorce. And I must admit, a little part of me was sad. I mean, the former first lady, single, out here looking for a good time. I don't know. I was a little excited by that thought. No disrespect, Barack, but Michelle, call me. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, y'all, depending on what time zone you're in, it's Thursday night, but for some of y'all, it's Friday! We made it, baby. Woo, woo. The weekend is here. Let the party begin. All right, y'all. I have a great show set up for you guys today. I have 4 lead stories, but before that, I have breaking news. Somebody in the federal government says that Diddy will be getting bail before his trial. In lead stories, Donald Trump pauses his new tariffs for 90 days except for China, which will be raised to 125%. But who knows, when you're seeing this, it could get raised because it's raising up almost like every hour. So who knows what it's raised to. Wendy Williams' guardian will not let her leave. Michelle Obama speaks on divorce rumors, and Kanye West apologizes to Jay-Z, kinda. In quick news, we're going to talk Tim Cook, Prada, Jasmine, Blueface, Chrisean Rock, the White House, Toxi Braxton, and Birdman. As always, we're going to close out this show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, we have some breaking news for you guys. DJ Vlad claims that Diddy could allegedly be granted bail. All right, earlier this week, I told you that sources were telling me that the Fed's case is crumbling a little bit around them. First, with the victims not coming out and putting out their names. I did hear about this bail, but I didn't say anything. I remember I told you guys, I have been hearing some other stuff. DJ Vlad has come out at his own risk and said that he heard that somebody from the federal government says that Diddy is getting bail. And trust me when I tell you, DJ Vlad is connected in the streets and in the feds. All right, so let me read you this and I'll play a video from Vlad himself. Diddy hasn't had a whole lot of luck on the legal front in recent months. According to DJ Vlad, however, that could all change very soon. Recently, the media personality sat down with DJ Academics for an episode of his Off the Record podcast. At one point in their chat, he claimed that he received some inside information about the mogul's case, suggesting that he could allegedly be getting out soon. I'm not 100% sure of this, he began, but somebody I know who, if you watch Vlad TV, you've seen this person on my show, had a contact in the feds. And that someone at the Fed told him that Diddy's getting bail. Someone from the federal system told somebody I know that Diddy's getting bail. Of course, this is unconfirmed, and Diddy's 3 requests for release on bail were denied in the past. All right, here is the video. Take a listen.
Someone I know had a contact with the feds, and someone at the feds told him that Diddy's getting bail.
Really?
Yeah. Someone from the federal system told someone I know that Diddy's getting bail.
Now, I know there's some of you out there that are not going to believe this and say that Vlad is just talking or he might be saying this to go viral. However, think about something, okay? I know the court system very well, and you can get bail at any time that you can prove to the judge that the case is not as strong as it was when the judge denied bail. The feds keep on giving Diddy and his lawyers more and more discovery as the weeks go on. And I told you guys this week or last week that they were waiting as long as possible to give Diddy the other victims who are going to be testifying. We all know Cassie. They already built their defense around that, but they have been, the feds, dragging their feet, telling Diddy who the victims are. We, the public, do not know. They said that they were going to stay anonymous, so there will be victim 2 or 3 or whatever, but they had to tell Diddy. Now, you got to ask yourself, why not tell Diddy before? If it's an ironclad case and everything is all perfect, why not give him the names before? Because once they give him the names, now he could say, oh, it's Mary Jane and let's say whatever, Mary Jane and Mary Frances. Don't ask me how I come up with those names. But those two, oh, this person is this person is this, and ruin their credibility mighty quickly. Go to the judge and say, this is what you had my client locked up here for, and you wouldn't give him bail. This person is not a reliable witness. This person is not a reliable victim, and they could give the judge proof. And if the judge if Diddy's lawyers give the judge enough evidence to show that the case is not as strong, then they have no choice but to let Diddy out. This is why I believe that when somebody told me last week, although Vlad has a lot of guts for saying this publicly, give him credit for that, you know what I mean? But hey, it's possible. It's very plausible. I'm not saying for sure it's going to happen. I'm not saying that I want it to happen. Please do not get me wrong. However, it seems very plausible for the fact that Diddy just got who the victims are. And the federal government always tries to do things like this. I know somebody that had not nowhere near the case that Diddy has, but that was on trial, didn't get bail, and they waited as long as they could to give them the evidence they had against them. And as soon as they gave them the evidence, they were out on bail within 48 hours. I have seen this happen personally to somebody who I know. That's how I know that it is very possible to happen. Now, some of you might be saying, what's the point of letting him out 30 days before trial? It's still 30 days of freedom. Or I don't think he'll be totally free. He'll probably be under house arrest, if anything. But if they have enough evidence, Diddy's side, to show that the case is very weak, he won't even get house arrest. He'll just be totally free on bail, okay? Maybe with an ankle monitor. But even the 30 days, who knows how long this trial could last? This trial could last 6 months. It could last a year. Young Thug's trial was 2.5 years. It was the longest case in Georgia history. We don't know how long this case could last. So him getting out before the trial could mean that he's out 2 years out on bail before that we could find out if he is guilty or not guilty. You could have a mistrial. There's so many things that could happen. So yes. Every single day, his lawyers and his legal team fight to get him out on bail. Every chance they get, trust me, we might not hear it in the public, but they are trying to get him out on bail. That I can guarantee you. Depending on what the feds have handed over, do not be shocked if you see me coming here doing a special episode saying Diddy is out on bail. Once again, I know I said it already, but just to protect myself, I'm not advocating for Diddy to get out of jail whatsoever. I think what he did to Cassie was horrible. I'm not on his side at all. I'm just reporting to you what I'm hearing. I'm letting you guys know the possibilities. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. Our first lead story. President Trump says he is pausing the new tariffs for 90 days, except for the ones on China, which will be raised to 125%. All right, before I start this story, some of you may have heard this already. During yesterday's episode, while we were recording, I was telling you guys about tariffs, and I'm like, who knows? Depending on while I'm recording, depending the time, things could change. It's very, very hard to keep up with Donald Trump and what's going on with these tariffs. So I do know this has happened already, and most of you have heard it. But for those of you who don't, let me just take you through the timeline of the past 24 hours, okay? And I actually, just to be sure, I feel like I got this like 3 or 4 hours ago. I think I've heard he's actually even raised it over the 125, and I think maybe now it's even 140, okay? I'm doing my best here, folks. In a True Social post on Wednesday, President Donald Trump announced a temporary pause on all reciprocal tariffs that took effect at midnight, except those targeting China. He also declared an increase on tariffs on China from 104 to 125. Trump shared the days of ripping off the U.S. and other countries are no longer sustainable or acceptable. The move follows China's announcement for new retaliatory tariffs on the U.S. set to take effect on Thursday. Okay. This is what Trump posted on True Social. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube, it's going to be a little bit blurry. Sorry, I got a bad screen grab, but just to let you know there's nothing wrong with your screens, okay? Based on the lack of respect that China has shown the world's markets, I hereby raise the tariff charged to China by the United States of America to 125% effective immediately. At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the United States of America and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. Conversely, and based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called representatives of the United States, including the Departments of Commerce, Treasury, and USTR to negotiate a resolution to the subject being discussed relative to trade barriers, tariffs, currency manipulations, and non-monetary tariffs, and that these countries have not, at my strong suggestion, retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the United States. I have authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lower reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%, also effective immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. All right, so when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, China is probably going to come back with something. This might never end. Like by the time I finish recording this, it might be 200 and then 300, who knows? However, I may have found a little sign of something slowing down. This may sound like a little bit of a joke, but I actually think it's kind of good. Just a couple of hours ago, China announced it will reduce the number of U.S. films imported as part of its retaliation against Donald Trump's tariff on Chinese products. China has decided to limit the number of U.S. films it imports as a countermeasure to Donald Trump's tariff on Chinese goods. That's a good thing. I feel like China is like, okay, you know what? It's that male ego, right? Where it's like, oh, I don't want to be the last one to react. So I feel like China is not reacting with another tariff, but they're like, we're not going to import films anymore. I'm like, okay, bro, if that makes you feel good and that makes you stop, fine. Because you know, if they would have retaliated, Trump will just keep going. So like I said, depending on when you see this, for now, it seems as though it has stopped. Now, talking about the markets went up like crazy yesterday. Everybody felt like things were back up. If I'm not mistaken, it was like the biggest one-day increase in the Dow. However, at the time that I'm recording this, things are a little shaky. Before things got shaky, Donald Trump put out this.
Why you decided to put a 90-day pause?
Well, I thought that people were jumping a little bit out of line. They were getting yippy, you know? They were getting a little bit yippy, a little bit afraid, unlike these champions.
Trump explains sudden tariff reversal, says public reaction was getting a little yippy and a little afraid. Trump says that his tariff reversal came after folks started acting up a little bit. So from what I've heard, it wasn't just folks, it was really the people. He's trying to make it seem like the public, but it was really like the people in his cabinet, and people were starting to sell off bonds, which kind of set off a little bit of fire alarms. Now, Trump went out and put this tweet out, and he said, "This is a great time to buy DJT." All right, I know I might be mixing some of you up a little bit with the timeline, but he put out this tweet before he paused, okay? Now, some people are alluding to the fact that he should be investigated for insider trading, because how can you put out this tweet and then just go all of a sudden and be like, all right, things are on a pause, and then you know the stock markets are going to rally? The world's richest people added $304 billion to their combined net worth, the largest one-day gain in the history of the Bloomberg Billionaires Index after Trump pledges to pause tariffs for some countries. And somebody wrote out the effect. He said, a play in 3 acts. Trump tells the world to buy. NASDAQ call volumes spike minutes before the 90-day tariff pause was announced. The world's richest, wealthiest people add $304 billion to their combined net worth, the largest gain in the history of Bloomberg's billionaire index. I don't know. What makes it worse is, look at this video I'm about to play you. Donald Trump says billionaire friends made billions off of tariffs and market moves. Trump boasts about his billionaire friends making money off the stock market yesterday. Take a listen.
This is Charles Schwab. It's not just a company, it's actually an individual. And he made $2.5 billion today. He made $900 million. Because, he's in financials.
This guy made $2.5 billion. Charlesy over here. This guy made $900 million. Why would you say that in front of a bunch of people with cameras rolling? Like, Trump is playing with fire. Now, I'm not saying that this was insider trading, but that's what a lot of people are alluding to, right? You put out this tweet, boom, you put a pause, and the stock market goes crazy. It is technically insider trading, but, Donald Trump has the Supreme Court, he has the Senate, he has this, he has that. He has no fear. So that's why he can go on camera and just say whatever he wants, and doesn't matter how it looks. Anyways, most importantly, the thing that I'm happy about is there is a pause. Everybody is going to be able to get together and talk. It is my hopes that China is able to work something out with the US at some point. Like I said, right now, as I speak right now, the markets are back down because of China, right? It's still right now at this point, we still make a lot of things in China. The world does. So the fact that he's taken off all those tariffs, yes, people were happy, but the fact that him and the president of China are still going back and forth, it's not really great for the economy, right? So hopefully things will quiet down by the end of the day. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think about this, the whole whirlwind that is Donald Trump. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Our second lead story. Say what? Wendy Williams' guardian blocks her from having dinner with niece and lawyer. Wendy Williams' guardian has blocked her from having dinner with her niece Alex and her new attorney, Joe Tacopina, despite Wendy's plans for the night out in New York City. The guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, prohibited Wendy from leaving the assisted living facility, which Wendy refers to as a luxury prison. This comes after Morrissey's lawyer claimed that Wendy could see her family anytime she wanted to. It's unclear why Wendy was denied to go out, but sources suggest it relates to her wishes of her ending her guardianship. If the judge does not intervene, Wendy plans to demand a jury trial with Joe as her attorney. Wow. I wanted to put this in here, of course, up in lead stories, just to remind you guys that Wendy is not free by any means. There has been multiple reports coming out saying, oh, she's not on that 5th floor. She's not in the memory unit. Sabrina lets her out. She can move however she wants. No, that is not true. Wendy still needs your help. There's apparently a lunch that's happening. What's his name from Hollywood Unlocked? Jason Lee is doing a lunch. I'm going to try to go to it if I can. There's still a big Wendy movement. So make sure you keep hashtagging. Joe is on the case, Joe Tacopina. So that's amazing. That's ASAP Rocky's lawyer. He's done stuff with Alex Rodriguez, Donald Trump. He is, we've talked about him enough here on the show. You guys know who he is. I don't understand why Sabrina Morrissey hires a lawyer, comes out and says Wendy could do whatever she wants, and then whatever she wants with her family, and then she's trying to go out with Alex, and no, she can't go out. But if you read between the lines, if you read the tea leaves, last time that she was allowed to go out, it was just with Alex alone. Now she wants to go out with Alex and Joe, and that is what she wants to stop. I haven't heard anything. That's just what I think if you put 2 and 2 together, right? Like, why would she care if she goes out with Alex? And she's told us that she can. It's Joe the problem. They're afraid of Joe, and I would be too, personally. So I'll keep you guys up to date. I'll keep following this, but keep hashtagging free Wendy. I hope she gets out. Sorry, y'all, I'm back with a breaking story on Wendy Williams that just came out. The letter that allegedly put Wendy Williams under guardianship has been revealed. Exclusive details in the Wendy Williams guardianship case reveals the physical letter allegedly that played a role in establishing her guardianship. Court records show that in 2020, Wendy's psychiatrist, Rami, wrote a letter to her financial advisor, Lori Schiffler. The letter stated that Wendy, who had been his patient for over a year, appeared unable to make reasoned decisions, with her insight and judgment described as severely impaired. A source close to the situation tells the Shade Room that this letter submitted to Wells Fargo Bank was instrumental in the decision to establish guardianship, which stripped Wendy away from her rights and isolated her from her loved ones. The source believes the letter reflects a premeditated effort to undermine Wendy's independence. These two sentences from a doctor shouldn't be enough to take away someone's right. This document should never have been shared with a financial advisor or a bank, a source tells the Shade Room. It was further revealed that the guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, was appointed from the start rather than being selected from a list of court-appointed guardians. The source claimed that when Wendy attempted to fire her financial advisor and manager, guardianship was used as a form of manipulation. They believe these two were working together, as the manager was later arrested for using Wendy's credit card without her permission. Let me read this part to you again. It was further revealed that the guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, was appointed from the start rather than being selected from the list of court-appointed guardians. A source claimed that when Wendy attempted to fire her financial advisor and manager, the guardian was used as a form of manipulation. They believe the two were working together, as the manager was later arrested for using Wendy's credit card without her permission. Here is the letter. Wells Fargo, dear Miss, the name is blanked out. Miss Williams has been my patient for over a year now. Over the last 6 months, she has been unable to make reasoned decisions, and her insight and judgment are severely impaired. Sincerely, and then the rest of the names are blanked out. Now, if you just read between the lines, the financial advisor working with Sabrina Morrissey, the financial advisor is arrested for stealing Wendy's credit card. Wendy gets put into this guardianship, all from one letter. Do you think that maybe it will be uncovered that the financial advisor somehow, some way got the doctor to give this letter to her and to submit it? Maybe with some of Wendy's money, maybe paid her off. I'm not saying that that's the case. Don't sue me. Don't come at me. But hey, if this financial advisor could go and get Sabrina, what else could they go and get? The fact that they have Wendy's money. Could she have walked up to her and said, hey, you're Wendy's physician? Yeah, I need a letter because I'm about to do some things to Wendy right now. This smells like Joe Tacopina to me. And just before, what I told you, why they're not letting Wendy out? Because the truth is going to be coming out, man. I'm going to go and make some calls right now. If I find out anything, I will come back in and put it in this show. If not, make sure you stay tuned to Monday's show, where I will have all the tea set up for you guys. Joe Tacopina is working, y'all. He's working. I'll let you know what I find out in the comment section. Well, no, you let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll let you know what I find out Monday. Our third lead story, Michelle Obama responds to divorce rumors after not accompanying Barack Obama to several public events. She says, I was making a choice for myself. Michelle Obama is addressing the assumptions sparked by the recent absence of her public events with Barack Obama. On April the 9th episode of Working in Progress, Michelle explained her decision to prioritize herself, noting that she has reviewed her schedule for the year and decided not to do or attend things simply because others thought she should. Reflecting on the reactions to her choices, Michelle shared, they couldn't even fathom that I was making a choice for myself, that they had to assume my husband and I were divorcing. Despite the negativity, Michelle's decision to put her own needs first seemed to be paying off. I have a little video. Take a listen.
As women, I think we struggle with like disappointing people. Yeah.
I mean, so much so that this year people were, they couldn't even fathom that I was making a choice for myself, that they had to assume that my husband and I are divorcing. This couldn't be a grown woman just making a set of decisions for herself, right?
Right.
Now, listen, I love Michelle and Barack Obama like everybody else does. Well, some of you don't. But look, I have to disagree with her here. This doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, Michelle. Now, I understand you not going to Jimmy Carter's service. I totally get that. She does not like Trump. She has said that Trump, was responsible for her kids being in danger, for Barack being in danger with the whole birther certificate lie. Okay. I totally understand how the seats were arranged. She would have had to sit beside Donald Trump. I get that. The inauguration, that I even understand. Donald Trump didn't show up to Joe Biden's inauguration. When Trump came to the White House in 2016, she hosted him. She came to her inauguration. I can understand. Let's not get into if the election was stolen or not, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's not get into that. But I can understand the inauguration. Although it's borderline. It's borderline, but I understand that. Now, what I am not going to accept is the fact that there's a bunch of other things that she hasn't attended. Those are just like presidential things. There has been reports that Barack Obama has been seen out in LA having dinner by himself. He's gone to basketball games multiple times by himself. There's been rumors that I have told you on this podcast that Barack and Jennifer Aniston were working on a project together, and they were getting a little chummy, a little bit close, and Michelle didn't like how their relationship was unfolding. And they were working on something. That was true. We don't know if there was something that was unfolding or not. There were rumors that they were dating. There was rumors, et cetera, et cetera. So for her to sit down and say, well, how could somebody assume because I'm making choices for myself that I'm divorcing my husband? That's not where the rumor started. Everybody can understand the first two things, but those other things that I've said, come on, and I'm not saying they are getting a divorce, and I'm not saying that she's not making decisions for herself, but we are obviously going to assume that the former president and former first lady are not on great terms if you continuously see Barack Obama out around LA by himself without his wife by his side. Like, come on. You have to understand that. That's why I was disappointed. She should have at least said, I can understand in a way. She made it seem as just like, yo, we are crazy. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't think that was fair. But leave it to you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Michelle, still love you. You too, Barack. Our fourth quick story. I really thought we were done with Kanye West, but apparently not. Kanye West apologizes to Jay-Z, then trolls SEX life with Beyonce, claims women fantasize about something that's ridiculous, I'm not even going to repeat it, and posts vile tweets about Taylor Swift. All right, Kanye West is on a mission to break the record of the person with the most tweets on X, and of course he's doing it in the most offensive way possible. This is the latest unfiltered moment. Kanye West is shocking fans, and he is publicly apologizing to Jay-Z only to double down later by trolling him about his SEX life with Beyonce. All right. As you guys know, there's some things that I hate talking about sometimes. However, I have to do my due diligence because I don't want you guys going out saying, hey, I heard about this and Trent out loud didn't tell me. You watch the show because we pride ourselves on staying up to date with everything and giving you the information. However, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to read a lot of his emails. I'm going to read you some of them because most of them are just ridiculous. Like he's getting to the point of just how much further can I go? Let me keep on trying. And it's just being ridiculous now. I have something about Kanye later, though, about Will Smith. Not about Kanye, but Will Smith says something that I think is the reason why Kanye West is having these problems. But I'll just wait for that. Anyways, Kanye said, I'm sorry, Jay-Z. I be feeling bad about my tweet, but I still feel I gave my life to this industry and thought so many people were my family. But when I needed my family on some real ish, none of these rap N-words had my back. Do Beyonce ever let Jay get some sex with other women? I mean, like at least a couple times. When I made out with Madonna, she was bragging about how she F-worded Basquiat and Tupac. I was like, damn, she loved to brag just like me. I'm mad I haven't F-worded Taylor Swift yet. I know Taylor be like, how the F-word he know that? Kim Kardashian, my nanny. I can't lie, that's actually kind of funny. Told Ray J we need to be with Kim from both sides for that Superstar Part 2. Right? He's talking about the SEX tape. All right. That's where we will stop. Keeps on going on and on and on. But look, what else are we going to say? Kanye is hiding out in Japan, running away from Jay-Z and Beyonce. You know, that's the definition of the expression throwing rocks and what? Throwing rocks and living in a glass house? Does that expression even apply right now? I don't know. Anyways, I have nothing to say about Kanye. It's getting ridiculous. All right, that brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Tim Cook explains why Apple chooses China for manufacturing. All right, with all of this tariff and China talk going around, I found this article and I wanted to share with you guys. It's really interesting. Take a listen. In an interview with Fortune, Apple CEO Tim Cook explained that China is no longer a cheap labor market as many people assume. He says labor costs in China haven't been low for years. Instead, Apple manufactures there because of the country's unmatched concentration of skilled labor, especially in areas like tooling and precise engineering. Cook highlighted that while the US might struggle to gather a few hundred skilled engineers, China can fill an entire football field with them. This depth of talent built with years of focused vocational education gives China a huge advantage in advanced manufacturing. Cook made it clear that Apple values quality and efficiency over cost cutting, and China's infrastructure and expertise make it the best fit for their product needs. His comments challenged the outdated views that China is chosen just for cheap labor. It's really about scale, skill, and speed. Here's a little video. Take a listen.
There's a confusion about China that, and let me at least give you my opinion. The popular conception is that companies come to China because of low labor costs. The truth is China stopped being the low labor cost country many years ago. And that is not the reason to come to China from a supply point of view. The reason is because of the skill. In the US, you could have a meeting of tooling engineers, and I'm not sure we could fill the room. In China, you could fill multiple football fields.
Multiple football fields compared to not even being able to fill a room. Everybody thinks China, mass production, cheap labor, whatever. Tim Cook is telling us otherwise. Like I said, just wanted to give you guys that I wanted to give you guys that piece of information. I did not know. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Our second quick story. Prada buys rival Versace for roughly $1.4 billion. Okay, I was shocked when I heard this. Like, that's Versace, $1.4 million. That's a crazy discount. Prada has announced a deal acquiring the smaller rival Versace from the U.S. luxury group Capri Holding for nearly $1.4 billion. As reported by CNN, this marks Prada's bid to expand its footprint in the luxury market where its demands have slowed down. Meanwhile, Versace has been struggling financially. The merge is expected to strengthen Italy's role in the luxury fashion industry. We aim to continue Versace's legacy, celebrating and reinterpreting its bold and timeless aesthetic, says Prada chairman. At the same time, we will provide it with a strong platform reinforced by years of ongoing investment and rooted in long-standing relationships. The price Prada is paying represents a significant discount compared to the $2.15 billion, including debt, the Capri Holdings paid for Versace in 2018. You buy something for $2.1 million and they sell it for 1.4. They almost lost close to $1 billion on Versace. Like, Versace is Versace. I'm shocked by this, man. Y'all know I was in the fashion game for like 10 years, so pardon me while I'm freaking out here. I mean, come to think of it, you haven't heard anybody talk or wear Versace in a while. It used to be a lot bigger back in the day, but it's still Versace. You know what I mean? But everyone's on, the Birkin bags and the Hermes and the Louis Vuitton and the Gucci. And yeah, I guess it has kind of fallen off a little. We'll see maybe if it makes a little bit of a resurgence. They got a deal, if you ask me, 1.4. Let me know if you guys are interested in this and if you would wear Versace. Our third quick story. Jasmine got roses and a card delivered to her with an interesting message. I remember yesterday I told you about Jasmine and 600 Breezy breaking up, and he had to record her saying that she doesn't really want him to leave, and he's saying, I want to leave you, and it was just a whole big kerfuffle. All of a sudden today, after they went super viral yesterday, all of a sudden now she gets flowers and a card from an alleged boyfriend saying, yo, forget about your baby daddy. People are dragging her online saying, Jasmine, we do not believe you for 1 second. Take a look at the video and take a look at the card. It's not handwritten. There's no nothing. Of course, I know when you order flowers like that, you don't get to personalize it, but it just seems very ironic that while just yesterday she's caught on tape saying, oh my gosh, please don't leave me. You're not allowed to leave. You need to stay. And now all of a sudden you're getting letters from some guy who's trying to tell you forget about 600 Breezy. Seems a little too staged for us. Here's a little video. Take a look.
The delivery when I'm out vibing with my friends is crazy.
On BD.
For those who are not seeing this on video, it says F word your baby daddy. Like, stop it. I was just out with my friends and I got these roses. Oh my gosh. 24 hours after I got embarrassed online. Jasmine, cut it out. Our fourth quick story. Blueface's mom reacts to Chrisean Rock allegedly having a new boo-boo. Well, it looks like Blueface's mom is happy to see that Chrisean Rock may be moving on from Blueface. Here is a video. For those who don't know, Blueface and Chrisean Rock are supposedly married. That's what they both told us. They announced it on their Instagram 2 weeks ago. I told you about Blueface with some girl, and now Chrisean is with some dude. I cannot keep up with these people, man. They're worse than Donald Trump and tariffs. Take a look.
Don't do that because I'm going to go. Don't do that. Period, boo. It's a video, period.
They make a cute couple. That's it. Get a baby by him. That's going to be a cute baby, too.
Now, she did put out a video last week, I will be honest. Put out a video last week saying, if Blueface decides that he wants to be serious with me, I will be serious with him. Every time we see Chrisean with a new guy, it's always after Blue is with a new girl. So maybe they got married. Maybe they wanted some, marriage visits. What do they call that? I can't even remember. Anyways, maybe they did it just for that. Who knows? But every time he steps out on her, she doesn't wait around and she goes and she's with somebody else. So at least give her credit for that. We always see him first. I can't keep up with them, man. Blueface, Chrisean, tariffs. Whew! Like the Lord, it's the weekend. Our fifth quick story. Viola Davis sees her Madame Tussauds wax figure for the first time. All right, y'all, they finally got one right. You'll know I have been dragging Madame Tussauds literally for the past year. The Beyonce, can't remember another one that they did was horrible. Not only did they get this one right, it could be perfection. Look at the video, and then I'm going to show you a picture with them side by side. I'll show you the picture of them of the wax figure first. I can't talk today, sorry. The wax figure first, and tell me if you don't think that it looks like Viola. Anyways, here's the video. Take a listen.
Got everything right. She looks alive. My teeth, my lips.
Okay, everybody is making fun of Viola for those little baby heels and the walk. They're like, oh my gosh, she really walks like Annalise Keaton. Hilarious. Anyways, okay, here is, look what I'm putting up right now. Is this the wax figure or is this Viola Davis? Come on! If I did not tell you, and I literally just put this up and I was like, oh, here is Viola Davis at the Oscar Awards, you would believe me. That does not look like a wax figure. Look, I'm going to zoom in. Look at that. You tell me that's not Viola Davis? Come on, like the teeth are perfection. Even the smile, that's exactly, she gives that little quirky smile, like it's not fully open. Like That is crazy work, yo. Crazy. All right, here's a picture of them side by side and she's hugging her. Crazy. Tell me that does not look like her twin. Does not look like her. Wow, man. Anyways, shout out to Madame Tussauds. I drag you guys all the time. Amazing job. You nailed it. What do you guys think? Tell me about this in the comment section below. Our sixth quick story. Not the White House talking about let him cook. All right, the White House tweeted out a picture. I think it's tweeted or they put it on Instagram with Donald Trump's picture on a wall and JD Vance. And they put in the caption, let him cook from Glorilla, right? Like, let him cook. And it's just a slang we say, right? And a lot of people are dragging them being like, you're trying to take down our culture. You're trying to hide everything. You're trying to take away DEI and all this stuff, but you want to use our slang. And I understand that argument. But on the other side of it, I like the White House doing these things. I've told you that before. I like politicians that talk like normal people and don't talk over our heads and feel like they are us. I feel like that's what Donald Trump does amazingly. I think that's one of the best things that he does. He's very personable and he's very, you know, I was going to say down to earth, but you know, take that with a grain of salt. Anyways, I like this kind of stuff. I like how they go on podcasts. I like how they go on streaming platforms. I like that stuff. I like that he eats McDonald's. I like that about Trump. And, you know, I don't know if he tweeted this out, but he obviously has that kind of young energy around him. And I like it. I get the whole culture vulture thing. I understand, but it's still cool. It's still cool. I like this. Let me know what you guys think about this in the conversation, in the comment section below. Let him cook. Our seventh quick story, the Trap Mount Rushmore, Jeezy, Gucci Mane, T.I., and Yo Gotti. All right, this has a lot of people talking, and the question is, do you approve of this lineup? There's a lot of people that are saying that Yo Gotti shouldn't be there, but for the most part, people are agreeing that it's Jeezy, Gucci, and T.I. You can't really argue with that. Of course, people are going to say Dolph because of Gotti and that whole Memphis thing, right? But could you think of four better people to put in the Trap Mount Rushmore? Are they forgetting anybody? And do you let's all agree that T.I. must be there, right? Like T.I. has to be there. Gucci has to be there. And Jeezy has to be there. The only one that doesn't have to be there, I agree, is Gotti. He deserves to be there, but it's not a must. But I can't think about another person that's a must. And some people are saying Future, which is, I don't at all. Yes, he may, you know, on a production level do trap music, but as a trap Mount Rushmore, like lyric wise, I don't agree. So who else is that fourth person that must be there? I can't think of anybody that's an absolute must like these three. Anyways, I still can't come up with one. If I do before the show, I'll let you guys know or help me out. Who is the fourth person? Or even let me know if you don't agree with Jeezy, Gucci, or T.I. I'll be shocked if somebody doesn't agree with that. Let me know in the comment section below. Our eighth quick story. Toni Braxton and Birdman are reportedly married. Couple allegedly tried to divorce 2 weeks after their wedding, but decided to stay together. All right, let's get into this. After a lot of speculation from fans, it turns out that Toni Braxton and Birdman are in fact husband and wife. TMZ was able to obtain legal documents that stated the couple tied the knot on August the 8th, 2024. The crazy part about it is they reportedly tried to divorce just 2 weeks later. According to court documents, Toni reportedly filed for divorce just 2 weeks after she and Birdman got married. She claims their date of separation was August the 10th, which was only 2 days after the ceremony. Their relationship was allegedly irreversibly broken, despite them only being officially married for less than a month at the time. Well, I guess they decided to work things out because Toni reportedly dismissed the divorce petition in January 2025, with Birdman also signing the document. So as far as right now, the couple are still husband and wife. They really kept this one under wraps, but congratulations to the beautiful couple. I thought people knew they were married To be honest with you, that's why I was a little bit shocked about this. I think people just forgot. Yes, they didn't announce it, but I mean, people in the industry knew about this. I thought it was public, not too sure. Anyways, they've been together for a while. I'm a little shocked of the divorce thing though. Like, who tries to get divorced 2 days after they get married? I'd never heard anything about that. I don't know if maybe the article has it wrong or there's something, but they said that there was some sort of divorce petition. So I don't know. I've never heard anything about that, but they are together. Shout out to Birdman. Shout out to Tony Braxton. Y'all know I'm a big Tony Braxton fan, and of course Birdman fan as well too. I went into the archives and I pulled up a picture of me and Birdman. I thought it was funny. I wanted to share it with you guys. Here is me and Birdman in Miami. Look at the look on my face. This is me trying to look tough around Birdman. The mean mug. No reason. Just got to be mean mugging because I'm a Birdman. Anyways, shout out to Birdman, man. Our ninth quick story. Will Smith explains in depth why money and success don't make you happy at all. Will Smith explains why material things, money, success, and lust don't bring happiness. It starts within. Okay, this is not any like breaking news or anything. I just wanted to throw this in here because you guys remember when Kanye West sat down with academics and I did like a full report of that interview. And I told you guys I really wanted to give Kanye a chance and try to dissect him and find out, is it mental health issues or whatever? And after watching it, I came to the conclusion that I think Kanye West is just bored. He says that he is not bipolar, and he says he's autistic. And me coming from the mental health space, I know that manic episodes just don't come when you're promoting something. It just didn't make sense at all. And I said, I think Kanye West is just bored. From that interview, you could tell where he's made billions of dollars. He's lost billions of dollars, still came out on top with a lot of money. He alleges that he's worth $2 billion. I don't believe it. I think it's more like 600 or 700 million. Still a lot of money. He has made it to the top of the music world. He's made it to the top of the fashion world, made all the money in the world. And when you get to that point, you just get so disconnected and bored. I feel that Kanye West's freedom that he thought he was going to get from money, music, and fashion, he's getting now from being able to say whatever he wants. That is his reward in his head, which is still not normal. I don't think it's a mental health thing, but I feel like that is just what he gets off on. And when I saw this clip from Will Smith, I wanted to share it with you guys that a lot of people that see celebrities or see people with money are think that like, how could you not be happy and having all of those things? And I've shared with you guys before that I have gone through these feelings myself. I talk about it in my second book where I have obtained the house that I wanted, the things that I wanted to do, buying my mom a car. I just told you guys that this week. Buying my dream cars. I told you guys I own one of Drake's supercars. And I got to a point in my life where I'm not trying to say I'm on Kanye West or Will Smith level, but I got to a point where like, all of these things that I dreamt about as a little kid, like I have, and I was still not happy. And that is what actually made me turn to therapy and, go through these exercises and find out. And I just feel like Will Smith explains it so well in this. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. And he makes a comparison to the people who are at the top and the people who are at the bottom go through the same exact feelings. Listen to Will Smith.
Cliff top, right?
Like you could be too high.
Where you get so high that you realize literally none of the stuff can make you happy. Right? After you can get to the end of the material world. You get to the end of money. You get to the end of sex. You get to the end of fame. And then you like go off of a cliff into the same kind of abyss that you'd be scared of slipping into at rock bottom. Right? Where life loses all of its ability to sustain and please you. Right. And then the only thing that's left, the same thing at rock bottom, the only thing that's left at cliff top is you have to find what you're actually looking for, and what you're actually looking for is you.
Whew. That's why I love Will Smith, man. Anyways, that is Will Smith from Drink Champs. If you guys want to check out that interview. It's a really good interview. And, Will Smith is always talking about life and all that stuff. So anyways, I really like the interview. I still haven't watched and finished the whole thing. I didn't even get to that part. Want to share it with you guys. Maybe something to do over the weekend. Our 10th quick story. This just in. Soulja Boy ordered to pay over $4 million in damages for SA and battery civil trial. A judge has reached a verdict in the civil trial against Soulja Boy. According to Nancy, the judge awarded $4 million to Jane Doe for claims including assault and SEX battery. As previously reported, the woman claimed assault, SEX battery, and false imprisonment exploited while working for the rapper as his personal assistant in 2019 and 2020. Her lawyer said that she deserved $73 million for past and future damages. She was also awarded an extra $2,650 for no wage statement. I don't know what no wage statement means. Megan tweeted out a little bit more detail. Shout out to Megan. She actually sent me this. She says total damages against Soulja Boy are just over $4 million. The jury did not find him liable for false imprisonment or hostile work environment, but he is liable for SA battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Still to come is punitive damages. She says there was 3 claims, which we told you about already, and the verdict for those damages were $2.56 million. That includes $1 million in damages for future harm from SA and $500,000 from past. Wow. I didn't think this verdict was going to come this quickly. I think the jury deliberated for like 1 day. Anyways, this is not a Fed case. It's not a state case. This is civil. I don't know the details of her trying to press charges against him. I don't know if it's past the statute of limitation. I'm not too sure about that. I will do some digging and try to find that out. I'll let you guys know next week. But Soulja Boy now has to pay the $4 million. Soulja Boy ain't got it like that as far as I know. I don't know what he's going to do. Remember, Tasha K lost her case against Cardi B, $4 million. She filed for bankruptcy, reconstructed stuff, and is going to pay out. I don't know if Soulja Boy got it like that to just be dropping $4 million cash. I mean, when was the last time Soulja had to hit? Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. There's just another person that has been charged with SA, just to remind you guys. A lot of cases out here floating around, man. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. All right, this brings me to my favorite segment, Comments of the Day. All right, the first one is a little spicy from Gerald Baptiste, 9015. He says, Trent, I'm so sick and tired of you jumping to these women's defense and then play out like you're in the best interest of the child. Until you have your own children and have experience dealing with some of these vindictive and spiteful mothers, then you can speak on the issue, because I know your opinion will change by then. Some of these women use the pathetic legal system and the sympathy of social media to keep doing this ish to men. Keep your one-sided parental opinion to yourself because you have no clue. Well, let me tell you a couple of things, sir. One, you sound very ignorant telling me your opinion while telling me I shouldn't have my opinion. That really doesn't make sense. Two, this podcast is designed for me to give everybody my opinion, and then I work on looking for you guys in the comment section to give me your opinions back. That's the way this podcast goes. Now, getting to the kid situation. I have told you guys repeatedly, almost every time I talk about a kid situation or a parental situation, I say, I don't have kids. However, my sister has 4 kids. Her husband before her has 2 kids. And I am all 6 of those kids' godparents, and I am very much intertwined in their lives. Those 2 were from a previous marriage. Trust me, I know about parental divorce and kids and parents, what they have to deal with, okay? Those 2 kids before my sister got involved, they were 2 years old, okay? So I know all about that. My cousin has 2 boys. My best friend has, everybody around me has friends, and a lot of them are not with their baby mama. So I know firsthand what people go through. Regardless of all of that, that's all irrelevant. When I talk about women or fathers and I give my opinion, it comes from a place of listening and understanding the situation. And I'm always going to side on the parent who is doing the right thing. In yesterday's episode, while I was speaking about a mother saying, last time you guys had my child, there were a lot of things that were happening that I didn't like. And because of that, you can no longer see the kid unless I'm there. She is letting them still see the kid. She's not going to the court asking sole custody. She's saying, if you want to come and see the kid, you can see the child at my house. I will leave. You can see it with me here. I'll go out to dinner, etc. until the child can talk. I'll give you a very, very small analogy. Last year, I had a mother geese and her babies in my pool, okay? I just opened the pool and there was like 8 baby geese or gooses. What do you call them when they're multiple? Whatever. Geeses, whatever. Do you know what I had to go through to get that mom and the kids out of the pool? I was so afraid because that mother would do every single thing in her power to attack me if I even tried to go near those children. It's a mother's instinct to protect her children in the animal kingdom and in the human kingdom. So yes, I do have a soft spot for mothers protecting their children. Of course, I also have a soft spot for men trying to protect their children. However, the instincts are different. You don't have to agree, but that's just my opinion. Every time I have talked about a woman doing something, going to court or whatever, it's not just based on the fact that she's female. It's based on the fact of I look at the situation, I understand the situation, and I give my opinion. You have every right to not agree with that opinion. That is no problem. But I need to remind you, my friend, I too have a right to give you my opinion, especially when it's on my podcast. Thank you very much for your comment. Look forward to hearing your reply. Now, the next one is Caffrey. She says, hey, Trent Out Loud, let's go. Montrealer from another Montrealer. Keep up the amazing work. With God's blessing, anything is possible. All right, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Caffrey. I always tell you guys, like, man, I think like 3% of my viewership is Canadian, 80-something% is American, and then like England and South Africa, and even in West Africa. This is the first time I've seen anybody comment from the place that I was born. Shout out to Montreal. Finally, somebody from my own hometown listening to the Trent Out Loud podcast, man. I love this. Thank you very much. All right, the next one is the first time I'm doing this too, another first time. This is somebody from the comment section on podcasts. Like I told you guys, obviously at the end of the show, I keep telling people who listen to podcasts to come over to YouTube because our comment section is popping. Well, Spotify and Apple are starting to pop a little bit too. So I wanted to show them some love. All right. I don't know what the name is here. Patns. How will you pronounce that? Patents. As somebody who's been to jail, I think going to jail can be a good thing sometimes, unless it's a non-violent crime. A lot of those people don't need to be in there. But I got out and started a business. You realize how boring and long it is to be in there, and that the only people who care are your family and your girl. Your boys don't help you like you think they will. They never do. The only time that stops is your time, and everybody keeps going on without you. So going in can help. Ottawa, Canada. Whoop, another Canadian in the comment section. What up? Totally agree with you. But what we were talking about, and I said we needed context when Gilly and Walla were talking about it. I just don't think for a first-time offender, a mother should let her kid stay in jail if they could get bailed out. That was the subject. Should you bail your son or daughter out of jail if they can, or should you leave them in there to teach them a lesson? I feel jail. I've been very open with you guys of my past. It's written in my book. And jail is a place where you learn about more crime because there's nothing but criminals in there. So some people go in and come out like you or me and have a positive experience from it, all the more power. But there's some people that could end up being worse or feel not as motivated. And if it's their first time and they can be let out on bail, I feel like a mother should. I also said if it ever gets to the point where it's the second or third time, yeah, then you need to let them sit down and you need to let them learn a lesson, right? So I agree with you. All right, now the next person is Indigo Inc. Oh yeah, I remember this one, Indigo Inc. I remember watching Carrie Hilson's videos and thinking she came across really cocky and arrogant. It is a shady move to deflect blame. Like your ego got checked. Own that. Much love from Ontario. Okay, I didn't even realize I got 3 Canadians in here. Boop, boop. Where are my Jamaicans at, yo? And my Americans. You know, I'm Floridian. Totally agree. I said that yesterday. Love that, Indigo Inc. Yeah, that's, she could go on now 15 years from now, 15 years after and say, oh, that diss track to Beyonce, somebody else wrote it. Yo, we remember the interviews. You were thinking that your head was very, very big. You know what I mean? So even if somebody else wrote those lyrics and you sang them and it leaked or whatever, I even played after I recorded that segment, I played for you guys the video of her saying that it wasn't really leaked and that she was comfortable singing it. You know what I mean? So we already debunked that. But like Indigo Inc. says, she was very, very cocky for that whole year. So we're not giving her grace. Indigo Inc., thank you very much for that. And you look really nice in your avatar. Send me a DM. What up? Indigo Inc. in Ottawa. In Ontario. My homegirl, Linda. What up? Linda, I haven't read a comment from Linda in a long time. And I love this. This is exactly why I love Linda. I think you are right about Trump and Vance. See, I can call it when I see it. I still have faith, but this was so not leadership. This was childish. Linda from Detroit. What up, doe? Linda, love you for this. This is why you and I get along. For any new viewers, Linda is my bestie. No, Linda has been a daily listener to the show, and she used to come in the comment section and drag me about Trump, telling me that I'm really a Democrat, and she's a really big Trump supporter, and I'm independent. I'm not really a Democrat, but we've developed a great friendship in the fact that she loves Donald Trump, but she can always call him out, and I could be in the middle or, favor Joe Biden at times or favor Donald Trump at times, compliment somebody when there's somebody doing good. But where our friendship lies is calling somebody out. So whether it's Biden, Kamala, whatever, whoever it is that you like, we call people out. And that's what we do on this show here. So love you, Linda. And for those of you who didn't see yesterday's show, I played clips where Donald Trump said that countries are calling to kiss his ass, and then Vance said we borrow money from Chinese peasants and we buy Chinese peasants things or something along those lines. And I just thought it was really immature. I thought it was rude, and that's not what real leadership does. If you're putting in these tariffs to bring people to the negotiation table, okay, you might want to say to your homie or to people behind closed doors, yeah, they're back. They're lined up to kiss my ass. You don't go on camera for them to see that. I thought it was very disrespectful. And I was looking to see what MAGA Trump supporters were going to say, and love you, Linda, for denouncing them. That's why you're my homegirl, man. All right, that is it. I think that's it for the comment section today. Yeah, that's it for the comment section. See, we got some Americans in here. This is a global podcast, man. We just need somebody from South Africa and then UK. It would have been global comments. I do try to spread it out. Anyways, it's Friday. I can start chatting forever. Thank you guys very much for the comments. I wish I could read every single one of them out to you, but I cannot because it would be a 4-hour podcast. But trust that I'll read all of them before I go to bed. Thank you for commenting. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. In a historic shift, women over 40 are now having more babies than teenagers. The US is seeing a dramatic shift in the way women are having babies. According to a new report from the Center of Disease and Control Prevention, for the first time in US history, more women over the age of 40 are giving birth than teenagers and women in their early 20s. The report highlights a staggering 73% drop in teen birth under the age of 20 since 1990, while births among women over 40 have surged by 193% during the same period. For context, in the 1990s, teens accounted for 12.3% of all births in the US. By 2023, that number had fallen to just 4%. Meanwhile, women aged 30 and older are now accounting for over half, 51.4% of all US births, up from just 30.2% in 1990, the largest increase seen in the 35 to 39 and plus age brackets. While the reports note that the overall births in the US have declined, dropping 14% from over 4.1 million in 1990 and just under 3.6 million in 2023, it also reflects a broader social and economic shift. The CDC notes that while many women are simply choosing more autonomy, issues like limited pay, maternity leave, unaffordable healthcare, and lack of flexible work policies have also contributed to the changing landscape for younger families. Okay, wanted to bring this here to social discussion. Do you guys like this? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I tell everybody around me or whatever, anybody who I have any sort of influence in my, like I told you, I have god kids, whatever. Do not have kids young. I'm very adamant about that. Like, do not have kids young. Like, do whatever you want to do. Mess up. Do whatever you have to do. I don't care. Don't have kids. Like, I am a stark believer in that. For the main fact that you can get in trouble, you could drop out of school, go back to school, you could start a business, you could travel, you could do anything you want in your 20s. But then you could always go back to school, get yourself out of trouble and change. If you have a kid at 19, if you have a kid at 18, if you have a kid in your early 20s, there's nothing you could do. You're stuck. And I feel like not only for you, but for the child, the older you get, the more mature, the more stable you are, the more you can provide for that child. And I think the stability in the household is the most important thing for a child. Financial stability, relationship stability, just everything. You get more mature. Now, yeah, I don't have kids. Maybe I have taken it a little too far. I get where you're going, some of you might go in the comment section. But I do really think that is important, and that's why I don't have kids. Yes, I'm financially stable and whatever. I've passed that for sure. And if somebody out here is younger, like, don't make that mistake. I do have the regret. I mean, I could still have kids anytime I want. But anyways, enough about me. What do you guys think about this story coming out? I think it's a great thing, especially for women. Live your life, enjoy yourself, develop yourself, and then go and give yourself to your family and your kids, etc. All right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. I love this question. What do you miss most about your childhood? All right, the first person said, my dad. Cherish your parents while they're still here. All right, that's starting off strong. That's really good. Somebody says, not having a phone, being in nature more, hide and go seek. No, I never heard hide and go get. Hide and go seek. Just everything, no bills. Having no phone, that's hilarious. The family and close friends that went to heaven, the fun that we had growing up. Okay. Not a single bill. LimeWire and playing outside. I miss playing outside. Remember that? That was fun times, man. Just going outside and playing with your friends, playing marbles, playing ball, doing whatever, playing hide and go seek, just playing like just ridiculous games. Somebody says the innocence. That's true. I do miss the innocence. Being oblivious to everything. Okay, a lot of people are saying like parents, godmothers and stuff. I'm trying not to be down. I mean, it is Friday. Here we go. Saturday mornings All the best cartoons came on for real. Grabbing your favorite cereal and waiting until noon to go outside because that's when everybody hit the streets. Yo, that was fun times, man. Fun times, yo. When nobody was scared. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. The real R&B love songs. You really missed that as your childhood? Really? Stop it. I miss back grown and can't say that. Riding bicycles through the neighborhood with family and friends. 1000% totally missed that. I was on my bike everywhere all the time. Like you saw me on my bike. That's because I had friends like everywhere. I had to like ride my bike everywhere. It's crazy. Somebody said those Burger King Rugrat watches. It's funny. Having all my friends in town. Now they're all in different cities. That's true. That's true. Another person said their mama. She said, not a damn thing. It was very traumatizing. Oh, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Okay, a lot of people are putting family. Here we go. MTV and 106 in Park. Okay, I guess you're pretty young because that was just a minute ago. Somebody said no bills. No bills. Come on, man. Being worry-free, not working, innocence, family gatherings. Yeah, that was fun back in the day, man. Back in the day, we used to I'm Jamaican, so we had house parties. Everybody would be there, coats on the rooms, and the kids, we would be able to stay up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Like my family partied and then went to breakfast the next morning. That's how West Indians do it. And of course, kids, you couldn't stay up that long. Man, I remember falling asleep in all the jackets every party, and they'd wake us up. Yo, come on, we're going for breakfast. That's what I miss the most, man. Family gathering, Saturday morning cartoons. The TV, it's true, we don't really watch TV anymore. Seeing butterflies? What? He hasn't seen a butterfly in 12 years? Have you guys not seen butterflies? What are y'all talking about, man? Somebody said, when my back was little. That's hilarious. The cost of living, it's true. Saturday morning, riding bikes, parks, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, all right. Somebody said 4 bags of chips for $1. Wait, that's true. I miss my mom giving me $1 and being able to go buy those jujubes and counting them all out. Yo, I got candy. I miss the excitement of having freezies. I miss the excitement of your parents giving you something because you couldn't get anything, right? You always had to ask, can I have $1? Can I have money for a Dairy Queen? And it was just so exciting when they said yes. It was yeah. My cousin and my sister and I would be like, okay, let's do this, whatever. We'll go ask because they're going to say no, but let's wait till after this. And then yo, kid, we have money for a Dairy Queen? No. Let's ask another half an hour. Then we'd put on a dance or we'd do a routine or do something to kind of make them laugh. We'd be like, yo, you got money for Dairy Queen now? It's yeah, here. Or my parents would say no, but then my uncle that was, doesn't see us too much would be like, yo, here's some money. We'd be like, yo, we're going to Dairy Queen. Even now, you guys know I go to Dairy Queen once a week. Yes, I did that even when I was a kid. Anyways, yeah, that's what I miss the most of being excited for things because now as an adult, whatever you want, you can get, right? My Uber Eats, I'll do whatever I want. As a child, you couldn't, and your parents just, anyways, that's what I miss. Let me know what you guys miss in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to sports news. Anthony Davis said bye to almost every Laker after the game except for LeBron. All right, I have to bring this out here to my sport fans. I didn't watch the Lakers and Mavs. I did see some stuff online with they played the reel for Luka and he was crying. I know he dropped 45 points. He did around 30 in the first half. I know it was not a good game, but because it was a blowout. And I also saw Anthony Davis dapping up LeBron before the game. So why was he walking out ignoring him? You remember I told you guys around 2 weeks ago that it was leaked that actually LeBron did know somebody that was involved in the trade. His brother said, yeah, of course LeBron knew. So I can understand why AD would be upset. Hey, you're trying to pretend you had nothing to do. Come to find out, you're the reason why I got traded. And we all knew that. I said that from when it happened. We all know that everything that goes through the Lakers is LeBron James, the head coach, Bronny, etc. So LeBron James traded out AD. It's just a fact. But like I said, he dapped him up in the beginning, but the end, this clip shows that's he's not saying bye to him. Anyways, I don't know what's going on. Let me know what you think about the Lakers and Luka and all of that situation in the comment section below. I'm going to hang out and start my weekend. All right, y'all. That is it for my Thursday night, Friday show. Point is that I'm done for the week, all right? Before I let you guys go, I just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud podcast. For my YouTubers, if you're ever going on a flight or if you're ever somewhere where you don't have access to the internet and you're wondering, how can I watch the Trent Out Loud podcast? Because I need it to get me through my day. Have no fear, ladies and gentlemen. We're available on all podcast platforms. You could just download us. Go to any podcast site and just type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. Just like YouTube, we upload daily. I got you, man. Now, vice versa, for those of you who are used to listening to the show on podcast platforms, hey, I read out a comment today. I know you guys are popping over there. However, I still suggest that you come over and check out the Out Louders in the comment section because it's a vibe over here on YouTube. And it's just nice to see the visuals. We put up pictures and we play videos. It's a vibe. So come check us out. Head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Couple of housekeeping rules. You gotta hit that subscribe button that gives you access to the fam. Next, you gotta hit the like button that gets the algorithming. Then please try to comment. Answer one of the questions that I asked during the show. If you don't feel comfortable expressing your opinion, I was just going to make a little joke about the other guy commenting about my opinion, but it's Friday. Let's just let it go. Comment your opinion. And if you don't like commenting your opinion, that's fine. But please just try to let us know where you are from. I have the analytics, and I know this is a global podcast, but it's just nice when people are talking in the comment section, seeing people from different areas around the globe. We're trying to build a global community here, all right? If you are really enjoying the show, a bonus that you can do is try to share the show with your family, friends, and loved ones, because that definitely helps in growing the channel. We appreciate you. Thank you. For those of you who want to follow me on social media, I'm available on all platforms, and it's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. And we just started a new blog page on Instagram called Formerly Out Loud, FORMALLY, where we post the extended videos. I don't think there was any today, but anytime that we have an extended video that we can't play the whole thing for copyright reasons or there's swearings, we put the unedited version on Instagram. So you could follow that to get the show after the show, really. All right. So Formerly Out Loud, FORMALLY, Out Loud, no Trent. Guys, thank you so much for kicking it with me all week. We had a great week. Views, subscribes, podcast, sites, comments. I love it all. Thank you so much. I have a chilled weekend plan. I'm planning not to go out, except for I just got a text message from one of my boys like, yo, I'm in town. What you saying? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to chill out this weekend. Let me know in the comment section what your plans are. And I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Enjoy yourself. Take some time for yourselves. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!